Hello, everyone. I wanted to make a quick video just to check in with you guys and go over the 6.3.4 rubric. So remember, 6.3.4 is the second editorial annotation. We did one before spring break, but that was a long time ago. I don't really remember it. A lot has gone crazy in the world since then. So let's go over the expectations for the assignment, the rubric, and then some writing strategies so that you guys can get this done and get a good grade on it for the high school. And then remember, all of these will be combined into the full annotated bibliography assignment that will turn in on the college canvas in a few weeks. 2 weeks, maybe? We'll see. So, first, the assignment prompt states this is 6.3.4, by the way, if you want to follow along. The assignment prompt states that we need to choose a second editorial from a credible venue that agrees with your position. So a couple of things right there. It's an editorial, meaning it has to be an opinion piece. It needs to be from a credible venue. You guys have done a lot of work in recognizing credibility in venues, so you should be fine there. And it needs to agree with your position. Remember, the end goal here is to be writing a persuasive paper. So you need to start thinking, if you haven't already, what your argumentative position is going to be. So then it says you need to restrict your editorials to ones that have been published within the last couple of years. They specifically mean within 2 years. So we've done on the database on the UT library. We've done some work in how to refine your searches. If you don't remember, send me an email or make a comment below this video, and I will try to reteach you guys how to go through the UT library database system effectively. But try to refine your searches to within the last 2 years so that your editorial comes from that time period. So then you need to read your editorial closely and strategize how to summarize it using your skills from the fall semester combined with your new skills for analyzing the rhetorical situation. We're going to talk all about writing strategies for this in just a minute. So then it just tells you to take a look at the rubric. So let's look at the rubric together. This is at the bottom of 6.3.4 on the high school canvas. So the first thing on the rubric is criteria, genre of source. 10 points, full credit if the article chosen is persuasive piece, 0 if it's not. By this point, you guys should know the difference, but just remember when you're reading these over, it needs to be making an argument, not just talking about something. So it's kind of the difference between like an article just talking about whether or not the gender gap exists and an article saying something we can do about the gender wage gap, I mean. All right, second criteria is the stake of the author in debate. Basically, does the article support your position? It needs to be an editorial that agrees with you. Our class assignment, our other one, the next step of the annotated bibliography, which is also due on Friday, is a hostile one. This one, it needs to be in agreement with you. I don't think it necessarily has to be the exact argument that you are making, but the overall ideas need to be in support of your argument. Next, date of source. Real simple. Was it published within the last 2 years? There should be nobody losing these points. All three of these things that we've just talked about, the genre, the stake, and the date of source, those things are worth 10 points each. So 30% of your grade on this assignment right there with yes or no little check mark things. Were you careful with your research? Nobody should get those wrong. All right, then we get into the hard part. And this is where you're actually thinking about your annotation and how to compose it. So it lists, does the annotation identify the author's source of credibility, relevant experience, or position as a stakeholder in the controversy? So 10 points to get the full credit here. You have completely and concisely explained who the author is and why he or she offers a useful perspective on the topic. Think about the wording there. You have concisely and completely explained who the author is and why they offer a useful perspective on the topic. Okay, I would begin your annotations with that. We've done a lot of work throughout the year where we set up the stakeholder and the author and the venue right away. We're going to take that same approach with these annotations. The second one is venue and audience. Again, this is a maximum of 10 points by effectively the 10-point score here is, does it correctly identify the original publication venue or audience of the source and explain its connection to the student's project? Was the source was printed in a publication that serves the appropriate region for the project, or its core audience is an important stakeholder, or it is a special topics publication in the field of the project's interest, etc. So, um, what's the venue and the audience for this, and how does it relate to your project? Pretty straightforward. The third rubric category that is important for your actual summary is kairos. So it is, does the entry identify the kairos and or exigency of the source? Remember, when we're talking about kairos and exigency, we are talking about why this matters right now. Why was this published at the time it was published? What is the contextual events? And then also just like what makes it a trending hot topic thing right now. Then we get into relevance. Does the annotation explain the relevance of the source to the overall project and its connection to the other sources? So you want to think about how this particular editorial is going to enhance your own argument and how it connects to the other sources. Does it offer a different viewpoint from other sources? Does it offer a similar viewpoint with different types of research? Does it rely more on an appeal to emotion, a pathos appeal, rather than maybe your other editorial relied more on a logos appeal? Think about those kind of comparisons between your sources. Then we get to the actual summary. Does the entry summarize the argument of the source completely and concisely? So you need to try to summarize all relevant claims of the source accurately and efficiently. This is a challenging thing to do, to summarize a large article in a short paragraph or so. You guys have all been writing summaries for a while now. My advice when writing them is to go large. You can shrink it down. You can sort of trim out the essential or the non-essential, I should say. And then finally, does it have an MLA, proper citation and parenthetical? Just, is your MLA right? Nobody should be getting MLA wrong at this point. If you are, please go to OWL Purdue MLA and educate yourself. And then finally, grammar and mechanics, is it entry free of grammatical errors? Part of the reason that we are doing this on the high school side and in Google Classroom is so that we get a chance to workshop these together and make sure that your answers, when the time comes, or your annotations when the time comes to turn them on the college side, are free of grammatical errors. So that's it. Those are the steps of this assignment. All of this information can be found in 6.3.4. If you have any questions, you just need to email me or reply to this discussion, and I will be available pretty much all day long to help you. That's it. Have a good one, guys.